Hey boys and girls, I've got a quick showcase today. ARC Trooper Jesse and the 332nd Company Clone Trooper, also known as the Ahsoka heads. Both are made with the Bandai model kit. Of these two, I start making Jesse first, but once I finished I thought, hey, this guy needs a friend. So I have a couple of model kits left lying around and decided to build one as a 332nd clone. I figure in my collection it'll be real nice to have a cluster of clones dedicated to the final story arc of the Clone Wars Season 7, which is probably my favorite Star Wars thing, well, my top 5 favorite Star Wars things to happen within the last 5 years. So why Jesse? Isn't Hasbro going to release an official version anyways? Why am I wasting my time with this? Well, the reason I chose him is because I set out to make a very detailed, well-painted representation in 6-inch. Looking at the 12-inch Hot Toys image of Jesse, which just came out recently, I wanted to see how far I could push it in a smaller scale. And for those of you who have built the Bandai Clone Trooper model kit, you will already know that they're very, very precise. The head sculpt alone is separated into 10 pieces, and I can make a very beautiful paint job with these. And since Jesse's helmet is just a regular Phase 2 helmet, I can just use the default head from the kit and take full advantage of the detail offered. If, on the other hand, I were to use a resin head sculpt, it would have completely defeated the purpose of me using a Bandai model kit for the body. After it was completed, I was actually very, very happy with the way it turned out. Because of Bandai's excellent part separation, it saved me so much time from using all these masking tape all over. Just to give you an idea, right? My Umbra Operative uses a Black Series figure, and it took me about 2 weeks to complete. This Jesse took me about 3 days, including the assembly of the kit itself. And what's more, half the time I spent on Jesse is on weathering this figure. So if I were to do a clean Jesse, it would have been even faster. Another thing that saved me a lot of effort this time was the shin guards. They are made with the John Walker custom parts, printed in bendable resin. So all I need to do is heat it up, then slip it over the lower leg like a sock. Of course, being a masochist that I am, I then decided to take a step further and added special plating on the sides. This is inspired by the 12-inch Hot Toys version. I noticed the plating really added another dimension to the leggings, so I wanted to challenge myself to make it in 6-inch. So, in the end, it looks like this. To give you a comparison, I lined up the figure. The left figure is what I did a year ago with my ARC Trooper, built completely out of plow plates and putty. As you can see, it's a bit clunky and it took me days due to the curing time and machining and fixing it and stuff. The middle is the ARC Trooper Echo from Hasbro, which I guess is the default one now. And then finally the right is done with the method I've just described. Another feature I did to save time is the Republic emblem on the helmet. I was originally going to torture myself and build it from scratch by masking tape and spraying and doing circles and then doing all this stuff. But in the end, I opted for a shortcut. I used the water slide decals from John Walker, which was not made for this application, so its size is smaller than what it should be. But I cheated a little bit by making the white circles bigger, so to give the illusion that this emblem is larger than it is. Note that if you're going to go this route though, you have to also use Mr. Hobby's Mark Setter and Soffer, or whatever comparable product it is. And what it does is it really makes the decal soften up, and then it won't crinkle up, it will make it stick better. And once you have, once it gave it time to cure it, and then you overcoat it, it just shows up like paint. Otherwise, the compound curves on the helmet would present a huge problem, and this would become a complete mess. Other noteworthy parts are the gauntlets. Here I opted to use the Bandai model kit parts to keep up with the precision seen in the rest of the figure. The right arm is a modified Imperial Stormtrooper arm, and the left arm is from the Boba Fett kit. So it's not 100% accurate, but it comes close enough. And because they're all Bandai and using pretty much the same system and a joint system, they fit well together and it affords the same amount of sharpness throughout the whole kit. For the neck, unfortunately, I have to sacrifice a Sand Trooper neck because it has to be slightly longer for the head to clear the pauldron. What I love about the ARC Trooper design though, is that by its nature it solved two of my biggest gripes about the Bandai model kits. First, because it is a model kit, it tends to be a little bit too lightweight. But with all the extra ARC Trooper parts and equipment, the model feels heftier now. Second, the shoulder pauldron masks the gap in the shoulder for these Bandai model kits, which in the past it sort of bugs me a little bit. Now, let's move on to the Ahsoka Loyalist Trooper. For me, this redeems the Hasbro figure, which I think is a bit of a miss. As for the process, there isn't much to say as it is very basic repaint. There are no extra parts to modify or fiddle with. I just have to make sure I do a good job painting it. I must say though, having made this, it really shows the missed opportunity from Hasbro of making this trooper when the new mold was sort of in transition. As you guys remember from my previous videos, the Kamino Trooper and the Ahsoka Loyalist was on a helmet that was warped, and the proportions tried to go for the anime look but ended up not looking like neither. The newer figures, such as the Bad Batch Elite Squad Trooper, the Imperial Guard, the Jet Trooper, and the 212 Battalion is made with an updated sculpt that fixes the problem. Now, imagine if the Ahsoka Troopers are made with the same sculpt. That would have been really dope, and I think this is what I'm trying to go for. Also, if you look at it, I also discovered that the Bandai model kit's head sculpt proportion is more akin to the old original Clone Trooper mold from Hasbro. So they actually don't look that different side by side. Anyways, I promise that this video will be short. I hope you guys appreciate these troopers. Even though they're not as exotic as the other variants, I really appreciate how well made the Bandai model kit is. They've always been really great with the Gundam models, and they have translated the same excellent details to the Star Wars universe. If you ever have a chance to pick these up, do yourself a favor and do so. You have a great old time building it. But until then, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.